In this video, I am going to be showing you how I use this pineapple head to grow a whole new pineapple. I got this pineapple from my local market, so what I'm going to do is remove the head, and of course we're going to put the rest down to eat, and I also use the skin to make juice. None of my pineapple goes to waste, but we're focusing on the head for this video. Now I'm going to prepare the pineapple crown by removing the lower leaves to expose the stem and the roots if any. If you have any excess flesh and skin on your pineapple head, ensure to remove them because we don't want to harbor any insects such as flies and as a result maggots, because that will cause it to rot. We want to get the area nice and clear so that the roots won't have any obstacles when they're growing. This pineapple head was sitting for about a day or two since I removed it from the rest of the pineapple, so you can see that the bottom is a little dry, but the roots are now exposed. You can see all those brown roots that were folded between the leaves. The air is now nice and clear, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put some water into a cup. You can use any container, but it's nice to use this clear cup so that you can see what's happening while the roots grow. And then I'm just gonna put the pineapple head right into the water. I'm gonna leave this outside in the sunlight for it to grow. This is day 2, and you can see that the roots are softening up. Those little white bumps are new roots emerging. The purpose of the water is to stimulate the roots to grow. The water will be a breeding ground for bacteria, so you want to ensure that you are changing the water whenever it gets dirty and replacing it with fresh water. Failure to do this will cause the roots to rotten, and maggots will form in the water and eat the roots. So you want to ensure that you're paying attention to see when the water gets dirty and when it needs to be changed. Alright? On day 10, you can see that we have some beautiful, healthy roots protruding from our pineapple head. In order to get these healthy looking roots, ensure that you're changing the water regularly. At this point, the pineapple head is ready to be planted in soil. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my soil by adding some water. The potting mix that I'm using is made up of peat moss and perlites. The perlites are the small white pieces that you're seeing in the soil, and their purpose is to aerate the soil and allow proper drainage of water. And let me tell you, I love this potting mix so much. Every single thing that I have planted in this soil have been successful. As you can see, I'm just filling up my plant pot with the soil, and then I'm going to create a hole in the middle of my soil just to accommodate the roots. I don't want the roots bending because I don't want to damage them. Now I'm just gonna carefully place my pineapple head into the soil, and I'm gonna give the pot a little shake just to backfill the hole with the surrounding soil. If you feel the need to add additional soil, you can go ahead and do that, and then you're just gonna water your plant again and leave it to grow. When the plant has grown enough to the point where you feel it has outgrown the container that it's in, you can go ahead and transplant it into a larger container by doing the same thing, adding soil to the larger container, creating a hole that is wide enough to accommodate the roots and soil from the previous container. And when you're doing this, try as best as possible not to disturb the roots and soil from the previous container too much. As you can see here, this plant has started to outgrow the container that it is in, because if you look at the bottom, you can see the roots are protruding through the holes in the bottom of the container. This is a sign that it's time to transplant, and I am trying as best as possible not to disturb the soil and the roots. Look at all those roots. Now I'm just gonna carefully place it into the hole that I created in the new container, and then backfill with more soil. Instead of transplanting into a larger container, you can also plant into the ground where the roots will be able to stretch more, and as a result, the plant will produce larger fruits. Remember to keep watering your plant and ensure it receives adequate amount of sunlight in order to grow. After a couple months, your plants will keep growing and they will eventually start flowering to produce fruits. I want to make mention that the process might be lengthy for some. It might take up to 2 years before you reap any fruit, but trust me, it is rewarding. Just imagine every single pineapple that you purchase, you replant it. Over time, you'll have a whole pineapple field, and there is no greater feeling than that you are able to live a sustainable life where you're planting what you eat and you're eating what you grow, especially knowing that what you have grown is organic. One thing I realized from this experiment is that the pineapples that grew in the pot turned out smaller than the ones that I planted in the ground. So if you want larger yields, then planting in the ground is the way to go if you have the land space. Anyway, if you guys found this video helpful, comment below and let me know. And also tell me if there's anything that you grow in your backyard garden. Until next time, y'all. Peace.